Both The Prestige and Memento are films about obsession. The former about two ambitious magicians attempting to outwit each other.
I need to know how he does it.
Why?
So I can do it better.
And the latter centered on one man's pursuit of revenge.
You really want to get this guy, don't you?
Killed my wife. He took away my fucking memory.
Crucial to adequately conveying this is an obsessiveness on writer-director Christopher Nolan's part in attention to how the narratives are relayed to the audience. If there is a common thread linking all of Nolan's movies, it is the mind's ability to influence one's subjective reality. Bruce Wayne is often told how he needs the Batman more than Gotham City. Cobb is unsure whether he is permanently encased within a loop of his own dreams, while Cooper stays fixed as all of time moves at ever-changing speeds around him. In both The Prestige and Memento, Nolan's protagonists inhabit worlds designed by and for themselves, worlds that exist apart from objective truth. As a result, they each examine how the lie is for the liar, just as much as those being lied to. There was an experiment conducted in 1932 by British psychologist Frederic Bartlett, referred to as the War of the Ghosts. The aim of the study was to test how memory is constructed and affected by an individual's pre-existing schema. Bartlett had his participants read a Canadian Indian folktale of the same name, and tried to recall details of the story at extended intervals, some immediately after, others months later. The results drew a direct correlation between time and the number of changes, while the changes in question were almost unanimously a replacement of something unfamiliar with something familiar.
Now, working memory capacity is our ability to leverage that, our ability to take what we know and what we can hang on to and leverage it in ways that allow us to satisfy our current goal.
Bartlett highlighted with the study that recall of the past is influenced by pre-existing knowledge, which is in turn influenced by cultural background. That memory is an active process of reconstruction, wherein we extract underlying meaning and make sense of it by reconciling with what we already know. That we remember easiest what we want to, even what best suits our delusions. Leonard Shelby, the subject of Memento, is an unreliable narrator in the form of a naif, one whose perception is limited by their point of view. This is made clear by intratextual signs like literally having gaping holes in his memory, but also on the more subversive level of challenging the viewer's literacy of film conventions. Memento's emphatically subjective lens denies the audience the same information forgotten by Leonard due to his brain injury, by telling its story backwards.
Amnesia.
No. It's different from that. I have no short-term memory. I know who I am. I know all about myself. Since my injury, I can't make new memories.
While The Prestige incorporates misdirection when disseminating plot points, as a magician would, the audience of Memento is subtly readied for the film's unconventional structure by an opening scene which runs in reverse. The opening sequence is of a Polaroid undeveloping, of information being lost. The data in question being a visual record of a recently executed individual. Such a startling image is meant to tell us that nothing we will witness should be held sacred, but it comes so early as to be almost meaningless to the first-time viewer. By immediately demanding the viewer's close attention in this way, despite them not truly understanding where to pay that attention, Nolan can hide a true revelation in plain sight.
Leonard, you don't know what's going on. You don't even know my name.
Teddy.
That's because you read it off a fucking picture.
Just like The Prestige's opening shot. The audience is so focused on keeping track of where they are chronologically in the story, that little to no mental bandwidth is available to question the validity of what we're being shown.
Just because there are things I don't remember doesn't make my actions meaningless.
Recollection is one of three primary branches of memory, along with encoding and storage. Being the last part of the process, we can assume everything Lenny sees as truth is inverted. Memory is immensely fallible. We are only ever capable of recalling an echo of what our senses captured because the data has been repeatedly overwritten with new material, corrupted by time and, in Lenny's case, recalled as an anachronism.
Look, memory can change the shape of a room, it can change the color of a car. And memories can be distorted. They're just an interpretation, they're not a record.
The key tattoo is "Remember Sammy Jankis," scrawled on his hand as if done by an amateur, in a hurry, and to be unmissable. It's the first of Lenny's tattoos shown to us that seems relegated in importance by the likes of "John G. raped and murdered my wife." By showing it first but not implying its importance until the end, Nolan distances the audience from a crucial truth the same way Leonard avoids it. When Lenny tells every person he meets,
Well, that's the thing. I have this condition.
he's referring to his inability to make new memories, whereas Nolan is, in fact, drawing attention to Lenny's self-conditioning.
Conditioning didn't work for Sammy, so he became helpless. But it works for me.
Lenny's routine is designed solely to erase that his wife survived the attack that also left him mentally handicapped, only to be killed via insulin overdose at his hand, by imprinting it onto the fictional Sammy Jankis.
Sammy, it's time for my shot.
Like the subjects of Bartlett's experiment, Leonard has replaced facts with alternates that suit his chosen worldview and assist in correcting for his guilt. He will continue to kill anonymous, innocent John G's forever, until he dies or the consequences catch up. It is the case here, as in a great many instances, that your own limited perception can become your entire reality.
Do I lie to myself to be happy? Yes, I will.
I'm going to tell you the truth.
That is a slippery notion in our line of work, isn't it, Miss Winston?
The time period in which The Prestige is set was not only the height of the Industrial Revolution and the dawn of the Electrical Age, but also heralded the birth of cinema. Film itself, as a storytelling medium, functions as an autonomous schema delivery system. A movie's job is to provide the audience with a steady stream of material which builds on itself, in order to incite a conclusion informed by everything we have been shown. If you re-watch Memento and The Prestige, you will notice every shot has a purpose and reason for being there. Removing visual noise and leaving out as much as possible further highlights what is left in. While Inception and The Dark Knight vie for the strongest grip on our cultural zeitgeist, it is Memento and The Prestige that stand toe-to-toe for the crown of Nolan's best movie, because on top of telling compelling stories, they are successful cinematic experiments in form serving function.
The secret impresses no one. The trick you use it for is everything.
A magic trick, we are told,
consists of 3 parts: the pledge, the turn, the prestige.
3 essential parts, just as most stories follow a 3-act structure of setup, conflict, and resolution. Like Memento, the film subverts this tradition by showing us the climax, the prestige of the prestige, if you like, at the very beginning. But we have no context for the characters, the trick, or anything, so the reveal acts only as an arresting catalyst informing the rest of the tale. Both films openly show us the cards in their hand before we even know what trick is being played on us.
Are you watching closely?
The start shows us something extraordinary, so we don't look too closely, and paint Borden as a villain when the truth is more complex.
Yes, I am.
The lawyer asks,
how then can we know that the tank wasn't simply some part of the trick that went wrong?
This is a version of the truth. In fact, nothing but truth is disseminated in these opening scenes.
But where's his brother?
The misdirection comes later, forcing us to forget what we already know because, as an audience used to watching recycled conventional storytelling, we expect twists to be revealed as the plot progresses, not dumped right at the start.
Theatricality and deception are powerful agents.
Time jumps are frequent and unannounced. We hop between the present, where Borden reads Angier's journal, while Angier in flashback reads Borden's stolen notebook. Resultantly, most of the film is one of 2 people's memory, warped and skewed through the lens of falsified and/or forgotten information, which can only contribute to the disorientation of the protagonists and audience. Both notebooks were intentionally planted, and neither contains the reader's desired knowledge of the other's magic trick. Angier fails to discover Fallon is Borden's twin, while Borden is not told Tesla's machine makes a living copy of Angier, during every performance.
No, wait, I'm not...
Tesla and Borden are the visionaries, capable of gazing beyond everyday reality, but they lack Angier's ability to sell what they see. As a filmmaker, Nolan is both, playing on the idea that a story is just an illusion. As viewers, we don't want facts, we want the lie that reveals a deeper truth.
It has no truth. It's real.
People are shot, bones break, assistants die. A man is dropped through a trapdoor and killed, so the double can revel in glory. The Prestige is a commentary on the hardships attributed to making films, epitomized by a bird's life being sacrificed for one little girl's pleasure. These are the extreme lengths we may go to tell stories, and for what? To see the look on their faces. We know a good magician never reveals his secrets. Why? Because it's part of our schema, constructed by an unquantifiable cultural conversation. However, Nolan is a filmmaker and his mission is to reveal all. There is no real magic, only showmanship. But the trick only works if we look where he wants us to. Memento and The Prestige display mastery over the art of not so much fooling the audience, as encouraging them to fool themselves.
Do you have anything to say?